I'm Toluca from Markers and Minions, and tonight I am on day 2 of my Unit 1 planning with each grade level, and tonight's focus is all around first grade planning. So if you are a first grade teacher, this night is all for you, and I'm hoping that I can get you all ready and confident for your first unit of Benchmark. So I've been preparing all day. I planned already myself, synthesized, processed, color-coded, and which I will walk you through in this video tonight. And about 20 minutes ago, I thought, I should probably double check with the national edition just to see what the differences are. And then I started getting like wrapped up in that. So if you're a national edition teacher, I will try to as best as I can accommodate your TRS as well. There are some slight differences, actually, in my opinion, improvements that Benchmark made when they designed the national edition. Your lessons, especially for phonics, are much more explicit and easy to navigate. But anyway, getting into it, we've got our unit overview and then weeks 1 through 3, so make sure you have those printed out, plus your TRS. What I have for me here is I took screenshots of the online TRS just because I don't have it physically. So here's week 2. Weeks 1, 2, and 3, and this is what it looks like for the California edition. And then national edition, I only had time to print out 1 week of yours, and then as I'm going, I'm just going to compare side by side. But yours looks like this. It's nice because online you can click on your day. It's not as overwhelming as the entire grid laid out right there. So that's kind of nice. Let's see. I also have, so in addition to my completed templates here that I'll be using as like a cheat sheet, I have some notes that I took today when I was planning, which I will share with you. I came up with a few extension ideas for weeks 1, 2, and 3, so simple things that you can do that kind of go along with what you're reading. And I broke down the materials that you'll need by day, which are going to be different for national because you guys have different texts as well. And then it's so frustrating anyways. And then I have an anchor chart that I will explain, that I'll talk about. So how you can use this throughout your unit, opportunities for you to come back to your chart, which this will all be emailed to you. But the idea behind this is just a master. So you would project this on your dot camera, trace it on an anchor chart paper, and then have an actual anchor chart in your classroom that you can, it's interactive as well. So ways that you can go back to it. All right. So I'm going to put these off to the side for now. And if we have time for it, I also printed out the weekly tests. I printed them forward page just for me to reference. And I'll show you how I analyze the tests sometimes to help me with my planning. For example, like I'll look at the first question and I'll say, okay, that is a context clues question. So I know I need to make sure to prioritize the context clues lesson when I'm planning. Okay, so backwards planning. All right, that's if I have time. Yesterday when I planned Kinder, it took 1 hour and 10 minutes just to get through the unit and the weeks. If at any time the pacing seems too fast or too slow, just let me know in the comments and I will adjust. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Joanne, I hope you're okay. Behind because of the hurricane. Okay. So, first of all, our essential question for Unit 1 is, why do people get involved in their communities? So this evolves from Kinder. In Kinder, they're focusing on rules and why we follow rules, why we need rules, where will we find rules, etc. And then now in first grade, it's becoming, that idea sort of evolves into becoming a good citizen and why we want to be responsible and respectful, and just areas different communities where we are being good citizens. So it builds very nicely off of Kinder. Okay, so before we jump in, I want to just go over briefly the differences with the unit template that I made. Hi, Gail. So I stuck phonics and phonological awareness up at the top here. National teachers, yours is already, you know, your weekly, daily layout is already that way in the California edition. I don't know if you can see, but phonics is prioritized last. So at the end of your day. So I just bumped that up because I know that that's one thing that teachers like to do. They want to spend the majority of their ELA instruction on phonics and phonological awareness. Then we have the reading skills here. These are going to be your comprehension-based lessons using the mentor text and the extended reads, not the shared reading skills. Okay, these are just like your comprehension. And then build vocabulary. This is also comprehension, and it'll be listed in those same lessons here, but I like to pull them out just to see if I have an explicit vocabulary lesson that week, and if not, I can make sure to budget time for one of those lessons. And that's across grade levels. And then finally, the language skill down here, this is going to be found in your daily writing, your shared writing, and that is, yeah, in your writing. Okay, so I'm going to be color coding, and I will be filling out, I'll be using the same colors on my unit planner in my weekly planner as well. And if you are filling out the typable templates, you can also change the color of the text so that you can color code these as well. They're a lot easier to read that way. Okay, so phonics and phonological awareness for week 1. I'm going to look, where did my highlighter go? Oh, it's all the way over there, Ruby took it. Okay, I'm going to look down at the bottom here, your TRS, for your spelling pattern, and then all of the phonological awareness activities that you're going to be doing. All right, so first of all, for week 1, I've got short A. Then I see, and I'm just going to look across the whole entire week for what I see. It doesn't matter like if it's going to be Monday or day 1. I'm just going to list all the skills and strategies, and the point is to like get away from this. So you just extract them, you look, you process, oh, this is what I'm teaching, and then you plug it into your weekly planner and decide where it makes sense for you. So I see rhyme. Phoneme blending. Segmentation. Substitution. And I see that our high frequency words, I'm just going to list those because there are not that many yet. The, see, go, she, and. Okay, and National Edition users, I believe your high frequency words are a little bit different too. Okay, so this is what I've got so far, just in my blue. All right, so done. I took care of this whole bottom part so far. So now I'm going to look at my reading skills, and they're lumped together between, in this section here, and then national, they're lumped together in this section here up top. And I'm going to ignore shared reading for now and all of the objectives that go with your shared reading text. And I'm just going to look at the reads and what you're going to be focusing on for comprehension there. So always the first lesson when you read a new text is going to be key details. And then we've got ask and answer questions. Identify reasons that support the key points. So I'm just going to write identify reasons. I see that there is a build vocabulary lesson, so let me show you what that looks like. Pull that out and write that here. This also helps me see, like, you know, if I spend a lot of time up here and I don't quite make it to here, I might still want to focus on this. Okay? So you might want to make decisions like that. All right. And then we have use illustrations and photos to describe key ideas. So I'm going to say use illustrations and photos. Then we've got cause and effect. And finally, at the very end of the week, we're doing a compare-contrast lesson, always on the last day of your week. All right. So this is what mine looks like so far. And then I'm just going to plug in my language skill, and that is going to be found in writing. So it says build language, common and proper nouns for week 1. And I'm using a different color. And when I write down what my daily writing prompt is for each day, I'm going to use the same color as the language because it's built in. All right, week 1 done. Okay, week 2. All right, who here is using the National Edition? I have a question. This is what it looks like online. What does it look like in your physical TRS? Because here you can click, you can thumb through each day. So in your physical TRS, is it laid out like this, or is it broken up differently? Okay, so week 2, I'm moving on to short I. And for phonological awareness, phoneme categorization, blending, segmentation, and phoneme addition. And you'll notice when I fill these out, I just kind of shorthand because it's just for me to see, or for you to use. So it doesn't have to mirror exactly. It doesn't have to use the exact verbiage. Okay, and then we've got our high frequency words, which are play little you with. Okay. And to the reading for week 2, we've got the key ideas, we've got ask and answer questions again, use illustrations and photos again, Got another context clues lesson. And I see identify reasons. So far that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons that are spiraling from week 1. Okay, it's the same exact lesson. They're going to see it again week 2. So when you're struggling to keep your mini lessons mini, remind yourself that it's okay to move on, because don't worry, we'll come back to it again. And we've got text features, so table of contents. And then finally, the compare contrast lesson. And your language skill is going to be verb tenses. All right. Now, week 3. Joanne, I did not know it was online. We have used for 1 year with 1 day of training. I will send you our schedule later. Good, sounds good, thank you. Yeah, online, that's what I use, since I have to always access all the different grade levels. And I find that online, like once you get to learn how it's laid out, it's a lot easier to navigate. It's really organized well. Okay, now week 3, I've got short O. And just a quick note, like in week 1, you've got the short A, and then your short A decodable, Mr. Dan something. We'll talk about that later. Then you've got short I in week 2, short O in week 3, and the decodables build so nicely throughout the unit. So like week 2, your decodable where you're looking for short I words also has obviously like a ton of short A words that the kids can find as a review. And then when you get to week 3 and you're looking at that decodable, it's got a ton of words that follow the pattern from the previous week. So it's really designed nicely that way. Okay. And then I see we've got rhyme again in week 3. Phoneme blending, substitution, and segmentation. And then the high frequency words are going to be for, no, jump, one, and have. Okay, so that's that part done. Reading, so the lessons that are comprehension based, using the extended read, people who made contributions, that's going to be key details, use illustrations and photos, cause and effect, so text features, the text features lesson for this week is now going to be glossary. Focusing on using a glossary. And then identify reasons again. Compare, contrast. And so in week 3, you'll see this when we go into the weekly planner too. The compare contrast lesson is not on day 5, it's bumped up to day 4 because on day 5 you're wrapping up the unit and doing a reflection. All right, so Sandy says, where exactly are you getting the phonics and phonological awareness in the TRS? So it's under this section here where it says phonics mini lessons. So in bolded, it'll say the spelling pattern, your phonics, excuse my nails. And then underneath, you'll see all of the phonological awareness objectives in your high frequency words. And then day 1 has your spelling words too. So in the TRS, there's one page that looks like this. It's your weekly spread. Okay, and so week 3 doesn't have a context clues lesson. And I'll tell you right now, week 3, is that true? Yeah. Week 3 has words like contributions, citizens. Actually, citizens is from week 2. It's got some vocabulary in there. So I'm going to write NA and mental note that you might still want to do a context clues lesson or some sort of vocabulary lesson. Okay, and your language for week 3 is going to be under your writing, and it's review. So if you see on day 1, it says common and proper nouns. Day 2, common and proper nouns. Day 3, verb tenses. And day 4, verb tenses. So it's a review of skills from weeks 1 and 2. You're welcome. Okay, so this is my unit overview now. So this is nice and organized and color-coded. Doing this allowed me to see and make a mental note that, like, okay, I'm doing a lot of these lessons. I know exactly what I need to focus on in terms of comprehension. Also, that's probably what they're going to be seeing on their weekly test, is those main, like, what is it, like 5 lessons that spiral. And you'll also see that, like, there's certain things that don't come up again, like table of contents and glossaries. So don't skip over those ones because they're alone. All right. Let's see. Oh, I worked on the template yesterday after your kinder planning session so that I would just follow along and compare with yours, but I left it in my classroom. Darn. Decodables, is Dan has a plan available as a Blackline master? I can find others, but not that one. I looked today and I remember trying to reconnect. Oh no. I'm not going to move to find a better signal. Okay, let's see. Maybe I will.